Hey leaders, hope you're having a great evening. Hey, just wanted to shoot you a quick message on the importance of three-way calling and what it can do for you. You know, the first thing to understand is that there's two major reasons why we do three-way calling. One is we want to be tool and system dependent. We don't want to be dependent. We don't want our business to be dependent on us. So we want to always use a tool or an expert or a training or something other than us to build our business whenever possible. The other major thing that a three-way call is going to do for you is it's going to bridge the credibility gap that you may have with some of your prospects. You know, especially if you're smart and you're recruiting up. If you're recruiting people who are more successful than you, you know, they've had more financial success, you're going to definitely want to use an expert. So that's why we use a three-way call. You know, the first thing to understand on three-way calls is one of the things you really got to get good at is creating credibility, or what we call edification. I don't have time to go through edification on this video, but the basic concept is, you know, the idea is that you create, you know, if I'm showing someone who's a six-figure money earner in the business and I've never made more than 30 grand in a year, and I can get someone on the phone and I can get my prospect who's making six figures to understand that this person that they're talking to has had, you know, makes multiple six figures, they have credibility with this person. So that's the basic concept, and I don't have time to go through the details and intricacies of edification, but it's imperative if you want to build a successful business in what we do. It's all about edification. Okay, now what are some of the reasons, some of the specific things we might use a three-way call for? Well, one would be maybe just to invite. You know, you could have your expert get on your phone with someone, tell their story, and invite them to a live presentation, invite them to a two-on-one. You know, so that might be something you could use a three-way call for. Obviously, you know, when you're new, you're going to be using three-way calls sometimes to close your people, to get them to take action and take that step, you know, to overcome their objections and get them to, you know, take action and get started. Okay, obviously it's important to get yourself out of the way. Again, if you don't have credibility with your prospect, you can use an expert to close. Certainly if you've shown someone the idea and they're not ready to pull the trigger, you can use an expert to get them to come to the next live event, or come to plug into a travel party, or move them to a conference call on a Sunday night. So you could use them for a move along to get them to take to the next step. Okay, now you could also, and I recommend this, you know, if you get someone who signs up and it's not at a big live event or not at a travel party, you did a one-on-one with them and got someone started, I would use a three-way call every single time to do a welcome call. And even if you got started at a travel party or a live event and there wasn't a training that took place, or they didn't meet someone and that's an expert, I would do a welcome call and have your expert welcome to the team and set up a game plan. You know, tell them their story, what their success has been, and set up a game plan, and, you know, tell them what the next steps are to get their business rolling. Okay, so I would do that almost every time I got someone started. I would do a call like that. You know, you have to understand that for most of us, you know, a profit's not welcome in our own hometown. Our friends aren't gonna, you know, maybe you're good enough to get your friend to say yes, but are you good enough to get them? Do you have enough credibility to get them to move and to engage? You know, and the other thing is you don't want it dependent on you. So even if you are, it's important to use a third-party call. And then of course you got to be using third-party calls, three-way calls, to get people to commit to training, to commit to going. I mean, if you have people that aren't going to the view that are on your team, and you're not using your upline experts to get them to move, to go to the view, you're missing the boat, guys. And just so you understand, an expert doesn't have to be someone who's $1 million earner. I mean, if I'm going after an 8, my expert's got to be at least an 8, 9, or 10. But if I've got someone who's a 5 on the financial scale, and they're just looking to make a little extra money, I can get someone as an expert on the phone that, you know, just got their wings, or just got BMW qualified, or just went 30-30. It doesn't have to be a $1 million earner. It could be someone who just got back from their first training. You know, so you definitely want to use three-way calls to promote the events, the big trainings, the regionals, the Super Saturdays. You know, constantly. If you're not doing, guys, 2 or 3 three-way calls a day, you're just not building it. You're not in build mode. And the reality is, probably the biggest reason to use three-way calls is it allows you to recruit up. It allows you to recruit people who are more successful than you, that are, you know, isn't that what we want? Wouldn't you like to have a team full of 10 or 15 or 20 leaders who are all better than you? Then use the three-way calls, guys, and you'll see magic happen in your business. You'll see duplication. You'll see higher quality recruits. You're going to see people taking action.